Hi and welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to do something a little bit different. So a lot of you may not know, or some of you may know, I am in an interracial relationship. I am black and my partner is white. So I get a lot of my friends who are super pro-black. I myself consider myself pro-black, or just super for the people. And they always say to me, I always think about potentially dating outside my race. Not that they're going to look to date outside their race, but like they'll meet men of different races or men that are not of color, and they'll turn them down because they're like, I can't see myself dating a white man. Or they're like, I don't want to be a fetish. Or they just don't know if they can tell if that man is racist per se. So that's why I decided to create this video, was because I get a lot of friends that ask me questions like, how do you know if a guy is actually interested in you because of the person you are, or if they're just interested in you because you're a fetish? And that's a real legit question. And of course, this list it can continue forever. These are just my top reasons or top ways. I am not the spokesperson for interracial dating. I myself only date black men. I just happened to fall in love with somebody that was not black, and I happened to meet and procreate with somebody that wasn't black. But I'm for black love. I love black people. And if you look at my resume, my repertoire, whatever the fuck you want to call it, I've always dated black men. So here are my top ways to find out if your significant other is a racist or if you're just a fetish. Number one, if your partner says they don't see color. Let's get into that. First of all, the term not seeing color or I don't see color is problematic as fuck. There's no way you can think that what you've been through versus what your partner been through of a different race is the same walk of life. Like that's just impossible. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's be realistic. America's racist. They do not like black people. Black people are oppressed. We have it harder than any other race in the world. Like, these are the facts. These are statistics. Don't debate me, debate your mother. This is true. So if you have somebody that's white and they're dating you and they tell you they don't see color, you need to drop that person immediately. Like, that's red flag number one. Drop them. If they don't acknowledge the fact that you're black and they're white and they have privilege and they have more advances than you, you don't need to be with that person. They're racist. I guarantee you. And if you don't see it now, you will see it in the rest of your relationship. So, number two, they use the N-word ever, and even in a song. Like, it's just wrong. You ever been to a party and you may have friends of, that are white, what do you would, Caucasian, clear, whatever you want to call them, white people, and you're in a party and a Jay-Z song comes on and they sing that nigga part a little bit too loud, you kind of need to watch that friend and maybe reevaluate your relationship with that person. Or if you're with a significant other and they're just too eager to use the N-word, even when it's like in relation to someone else using the N-word, that person's probably racist. I've been with my partner for 5 to 6 years and I've never heard them use the N-word, even when even when a rap song came on. You can be quiet when that part comes on. If you're a person of not color, if you're white, you can just close your mouth and not say that word when the song comes on. If you feel like you really need to sing it, maybe you should reevaluate yourself. So if your person has said the N-word around you and they feel real comfortable, you probably should leave the relationship. They'll probably call you nigger. Number three, they think any reason is justifiable for being killed by the police. When racial injustice happens all too often and black men and black women are being killed by police and they think any of those reasons are justifiable, that person is racist or that person does not care about black people. These are facts. So if they think Eric Garner shouldn't have been selling cigarettes in the corner and maybe he would have still had his life, cut them off. If they think that Trayvon Martin shouldn't have been wearing a hoodie to buy a pack of Skittles, cut them off. If they think Sandra Bland shouldn't have had a bad tail light or argue with the police officer about her rights, you should probably cut them off. These are all red flags. No reason is justifiable to be murdered by police or anyone else. And if your person of significant other thinks that there is justified reason in any of this happening, you should probably not be with them. They're probably racist. Number 4, people that only date black people. This is a big one. So if you're white or your significant other is white and you notice that all their exes happen to be black, you're probably going to be a fetish. Like, let's be realistic. You know what I mean? Like, they obviously have a type, and sometimes there's nothing wrong with having a type. But if you're only going to date a person of color, that's a little weird. I'm sorry. That's weird. Number 5, they always mention their black friends. Now, I'm not talking about like their best friend's black and they talk about their best friend all the time. That's pretty normal. I talk about my best friends all the time. That's different. But if you're always like, my black friend or my black best friend, why? Like, why do you have to state that they're black in every sentence when you talk about them? You can talk about your friends without talking about the color of their skin. Just say your friend. If your significant other, the person you're dating, or the potential partner you may have continues to say, yeah, my black friends, that's racist. They're racist, red flag. Number 6, they do not talk about race issues in general. This part is a pet peeve of mine. Race will always happen. Race has been happening for years. Nothing is changing. You may think it's changing, but no. Black people are always going to be treated bad. We are always treated bad. If your partner is uncomfortable talking about race and you are black, you should not be with that person. If they don't realize that your life is different for them, you shouldn't be with that person. Like, if they don't realize there is a race issue and they can't talk about it and they feel uncomfortable talking about it, or they don't want to hear it, that person has a problem. That's a red flag. They're racist. You probably shouldn't be with them. Next. Number 7, they think that famous whites getting away with saying racist shit is okay. If they think that Bill Mayer or Meyer, whatever the fuck his name is, the TV host on HBO, whatever his show is, if they think it's okay for him to refer to himself as a house nigga and they think that's funny and they think that it's not problematic, then you should probably not be with that person. They're racist. If they think it's okay to say that Zendaya looks dirty because of the locks she wore on a red carpet and she's a black woman, that's a problem. You should probably not date that person. They're probably a racist. Number 8. Ugh. Let me make this clear. Number 8 is a big one for me. If you have racist family members, and you do not check them about their racism, you yourself, you're racist. Again, if you have racist family members and you do not check them about their racism because you think that the things you say or the things that your family member says is okay. So if you have someone you're dating and they have racist family members, now get me on this. You can't change some people. Some people are racist. That's true. And you can't change the way people think or the way they perceive other people. But if you do not check them and you're silent at problematic things that they say, you do not need to be with that person. That person's racist. There's no way you can be with someone who thinks that anything, family or friend, thinks is okay to say about black people or people of color, and you don't say anything about it, then that person's not for you because they don't care about you. They don't care about black people. You see? Number 9, they don't see the need to celebrate black greatness or black achievements. If a black person, the first person to win an Oscar for this, or the black person is the first person to have this many successful shows, if they don't get as hype as you do, granted, I'm being a little extreme, but if they don't understand the need for black celebration, black love, black achievement, black anything, then you probably shouldn't be with them. They're low-key racist. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, the fact that we have so many firsts for black people, the fact that that's a thing is terrible in its own. But if you don't understand, or your partner doesn't understand how that is a big deal and why it should be celebrated, you just probably don't need to be with them. And it's okay. You can find somebody else. number, I'm like, at this point, I don't even know what number this is. If you are with someone and you guys procreate and you have a child, if you're with a white person, obviously, because this is what this video is about, and you procreate and you have a child, your child is black. Your child is black. Blickety, blickety, black. Yeah, they might be mixed, of course. They're half white, half black, whatever. They're biracial, whatever you want to call them. But at the end of the day, if that one parent is black, your child is black. Now, that has no way in any form is telling your child to just disregard their white half. No, of course not. Like, you're going to be mixed. We know that. But you're black. Now, if your significant other does not understand that your child is black, it's probably too late, but you probably shouldn't be with them because then they have issues. Which brings me to my next point. If your significant other doesn't understand that their black child or your guys' black child will not have issues, that's white privilege, and they're probably racist, and they don't understand the concept of white privilege. If you have a black child, regardless if they're biracial or mixed, they will have issues. It may not be the same issues that a full black person will have, but they will have issues. So if your significant other cannot acknowledge that and doesn't want to have these talks with your child and thinks their baby is protected in a bubble or different, then that person's probably not for you because they're probably racist. Do you understand what I mean? Another big one. If your significant other doesn't understand the concept of white privilege and that they don't think white privilege exists in a whole, that person's not for you. Cut them off. They are racist. 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 White privilege is a thing. We all know that. If the person you're dating can acknowledge that white privilege is a thing, you probably shouldn't be with them either. And this brings me to my last and final point. If your partner, let me say this again, if your partner does not understand that there is no such thing as a black person being racist, you probably shouldn't be with them. I hate when white people throw the word racist around at black people. Black people cannot be racist. We can be prejudiced, yes. We can be bigots, yes. But racist, we cannot be. Let me clarify that. We cannot be racist. Why? In order to be racist, you have to think that you're superior to an oppressed group of people. When have white people ever been oppressed? I'll wait. Again, so if your significant other ever refers to any black people as racist or any person of non-color, or any person of color racist, then they are racist, because then they are not clear on the fact that black people can't be racist. Like, I don't understand how to further say that. Black people can't be racist. We can't. We just can't. We can be prejudiced, I promise, but we can't be racist. So if your significant other ever calls a black person racist, you probably shouldn't be with them because they don't understand the word racist. And that ends my rant on how to find out if your significant other or a potential partner is racist or if you're a fetish for them. Hope you learned today. Bye-bye.